Today's reading is an entry from the Monster Encyclopedia series, Maneater, the Venus flytrap variant. Ever since the era of the former demon lords, man-eaters, who season and restrain their human male prey with specialized leaves, have been considered emblematic of plant monsters. As a matter of fact, they were divided into several different races depending on the particular shape of their leaves, which differ considerably. Their various shapes mean that they each have their own way of seizing prey, but other than that, in terms of diet, disposition, ecology, they are all mostly speaking the same, so we call them man-eaters as a general term. The flytrap variant are distinguished by having enormous leaves, like the great maw of a beast. When capturing prey, they seize a man by wrapping their legs of their humanoid body around his waist, while taking his manhood inside their lower half. And on top of that, they shut their enormous leaves to completely trap him inside, such is the manner in which they secure what they call their husband, men whose purpose is to practically permanently provide them the semen which they feed on. A big weapon to employ against their prey that all man-eaters share in common is this digestive fluid that their body secretes. In the former era, they used to dissolve their prey, but now its nature has changed dramatically. When the evaporated fluid is breathed in by humans, it causes them to become unable to think straight, as if a portion of their thoughts were slowly melted away. So, when a man sees the alluring beauty in front of him waiting to welcome him with open arms, he won't be necessarily alarmed by the atrocious appearance of the leaves surrounding her body, and he'll be easily lured in. Also, in its liquid state, not only can the digestive fluid dissolve armor and clothing soaking it into his body remarkably reduces his natural resistance to it. This means that showering their prey's body in it over and over, they can make him infinitely more vulnerable to it, and the pleasure induced by their own body which constantly secretes it. Naturally, the inside of their leaves is constantly filled with it, and once captured, after their prey's body has already been immersed in it, getting close and rubbing her body against his to directly rub it in and further exchanging a kiss and spitting it directly inside would eliminate any resistance to pleasure and the digestive fluid. And once this happens, eating is all that's left. Mere skin-to-skin contact with her vulnerable prey's body will cause him to be attacked by such pleasure that it will feel like ejaculation is imminent. And should his manhood be taken inside, he will be powerless to resist and could do naught but ejaculate over and over. What's more, although man-eaters directly feed on semen, they say just the very act of continuously holding their husband captive and having him be there inside their leaves itself produces strong feelings of joy and fulfillment, which is something all man-eaters share in common. In the case of the flytrap, they have a strong preference for the very act itself of wrapping their legs around their husband's waist while joined together and completely shutting their leaves to create a private space for just the two of them. Even normally, they spend just as much time in this state as they do when acquiring semen for sustenance, and perhaps even more so. For them, it is a top priority. Even when not actively milking semen, they like to spend their time joined to their husband to the fullest extent so that they can indulge in pleasure and essence while both of them slowly move their hips together. Since they prefer to be like this as much as possible, even after a couple's relationship has progressed to the point that him running off would already be unthinkable, he would never entertain such thoughts. It would still be a headache for a husband to convince his wife to let him get away from her for even just a little while.